In this free 7-day course, I'll take you from this to this. Here's everything that is covered in the course. You can follow one lesson per day or take it at your own pace. Day 1. Your first picking patterns. Our first pattern is going to be the Pima pattern, which simply stands for the fingers that we're going to be using. Thumb will cover the bass strings, the E, the A and the D. Our index finger will cover the G string, middle the B and the ring the high E. For the first exercise we're going to be doing just that. If you can, speed it up. Exercise 2, adding some chords. We're going to be using a G, an E minor, a C and a D. Let's apply that same pattern to the chords. Start with the G, E minor, and for this one you don't have to fret any notes. C and D. Go as slow as you need to for this one. The tempo doesn't matter, just get your fingers used to the movement. Again, you can go faster if you like. For this exercise we're going to be switching the order of the fingers. So it's going to be thumb, index, ring, middle. Thumb, index, ring, middle. I also am playing each chord twice. A little faster. Alright, final exercise. We're going to be using the same pattern but different chords. I'm using an A minor, a C, a G and a D again. Day 2, pinching. Our thumb is going to be responsible for the bass notes and our index, middle, ring finger for the D, the G and the B string. Our chords for today are a C, an A minor, an E minor and a G. We're going to start by playing all strings together. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, you can see that you don't have to fret the entire chord. You can for good practice, but you don't have to if it's difficult. Once more. exercise 2, we're going to be separating our thumb from the other fingers. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then switch. A little faster. And finally, exercise 3, we're going to be separating our fingers even further. So it's going to be thumb, index and middle, do that twice, and then switch to middle and ring finger. Now add the chords. Day 3, thumb independence. Today we're going to be training our thumb. A thumb is really important for keeping a steady beat and it needs to move separately from the other fingers. For exercise 1, it's going to be G minor, an E, a C and a D. And we're going to be alternating the bass on these chords. Today is also a good time to start using a metronome. You can use a free app on your phone, but I prefer using a physical one. If you're interested, there's a link down below, or you can just play along with me. I'm gonna start at 60 beats per minute. 2, 3, 4. I like putting my other fingers on the strings to stabilize my hand, so my thumb can move more easily. On the last chord you obviously need to release the index finger to be able to play the third string. 80 beats per minute. 3, 4. And finally at 100 beats per minute. 2, 3, 4. Once more. For exercise 2, we're going to alternate the bass on 3 strings. So for the G chords, they're going to be strings 6, 4, 5, 4. Same thing with the E, 6, 4, 5, 4. For C, it's going to be strings 5, 4, 6, 4. But we're going to fret the 3rd fret on the low E string. And this note is a G note, which is part of a C chord. That's why it works. For the D, we're going to do something similar. It's going to be strings 4, 3, 5, 3. And while not normally part of the D chord, the 5th string is an A note, which is part of the D chord as well. Again, we're going to play that along to a metronome, and we're going to play each chord twice. For this exercise I'm starting at 80 beats per minute. 2, 3, 4. Now at 100 beats per minute. 2, 3, 4. For our final exercise we're actually going to be playing a Spanish song called Malagueña. The time signature for this song is 3/4, so we're going to be counting to 3 instead of 4. Now I'll play this along to a metronome. I'll start at 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. Now 120 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. Under 40 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. If you want to challenge yourself even more, try playing this as fast as you can. Another way is to play the same song, but between every note, play an open high E string. Again, you can play that along to a metronome at a speed you find challenging but not too difficult. 140 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. Day 4. Travis picking. Travis picking is where our thumb alternates the bass line while our fingers play the melody. First the open pattern only. Our thumb is going to play the A string, index the G, thumb the D, middle the B. Then we're going to move to the low E string, the rest stays the same. do this over and over again until it feels natural. Then add the chords. The chords are C, A minor, E minor and a G. Each chord is going to be played twice. Now let's add a metronome. We'll start at 100 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 120. I don't have to go up in 20 beat intervals. You can go up 4 or as many or as little as you like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hundred and 40 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our final exercise, we use a different pattern, one that's used in Dust in the Wind by Kansas. We're gonna start with pinching the A and the B string together. Then it's thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb. And we skip the last beat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When we add the chords, we get this. Along to a metronome at 80 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally to 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. Day 5. Strumming with your fingers. There are many ways to strum with your fingers, but here I'm demonstrating 3 ways. The first one is using your thumb. It gives a warm sound and works well for chords like the Andalusian cadence. You strum down with the fleshy part of your thumb. And up strums with the back of the thumb with a nail. The chords I'm using are an A minor, a G, an F, and an E. Number 2, strumming with your fingers. You strum down with the back of the middle and the ring finger, and you strum up with the back of your thumb. To me, this is the most natural way to strum with your fingers, and it gives a nice balanced sound. The chords I'm using for this example are an A minor, a C, a G, and a D. The strumming pattern I'm using is down, 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 up. And it's nice if you put an accent on the first and the third beat. So down, 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 up. Along with the chords. If you have a capo, put it on the second fret. If you don't have a capo, you should definitely get one because it opens up thousands of songs. And if you're interested, I have an affiliate link down below. So capo on the second fret, the rest stays the same, and we get this. Finally, strumming with the index finger. It's also a nice way to emphasize the melody. With the up strums, focus on the treble strings and not on the entire chord. So instead of this, you get this. You strum down with the back, with the nail, or with the side of the finger. And the up strums are done with the fleshy part, or with the side of the finger. Try both and use whatever you prefer. Here are the chords I'm using. It's an A minor, then is an E major with the third fret on the B string added. A G chord, but we keep the high E open. And a D chord, but again the high E is open. So down, down, up, down, up is the strumming pattern I'm using. If you have a capo, put one on the first fret, same chords. Day 6. Combining strumming and picking. Here are 3 simple ways to combine strumming together with picking. The first one is the bass drum, where you replace the first downstroke with the bass note. The chords I'm using here are an E minor 7, a C at 9, and a G. They're pretty easy because I keep my pinky and my ring finger on the same place, the third fret on the B and the E string. I only change my other 2 fingers. Then an E minor position for the first chord, then in regular C position, and a G. So it's gonna be bass, down, up, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up. Play the G twice. If you want, you can exaggerate the first note a little bit. If you have a capo, place it on the 4th fret. It sounds good with this song. The rest stays the same. Right, the second way is to emphasize the melody. Pretty much the opposite of just now. We replace the up strum with a pick of the high E string. This emphasizes the melody even more. I'm using the same chords as yesterday. I have capo on the 1st fret, but you can play it without. The strumming pattern I'm using is down, down, up, down, up. But all the up strums are replaced with a pick of the high E. Now with the chords added. Finally, we're going to combine picking and strumming in the same bar. The chords I'm using are an A minor, a C, a G, and a D. We're going to start with the bass note, a down strum, thumb, index, thumb, middle, bass note, downstroke, thumb, middle, thumb, ring. And then we're going to add the other chords. On the D chord, we're going to do the same thing twice, but on the second playthrough, I'm releasing the high E string. That gives a nice variation. Day 7. Learning a new song and a new picking pattern. If you have to play the same string multiple times in a row, you can use the same finger, but it's hard to go fast and it doesn't feel natural. An easy way is to use a middle and your index finger and alternate them. You can go much faster that way. Today we're using a C, a G, an A minor, and an F. Our thumb is going to hit the bass note on every chord, and the index and middle finger are going to alternate for the other notes. Slowly. It doesn't matter if you start with your middle or your index finger, just use whatever you prefer. A little faster. If you have a capo, put it on the 3rd fret. If you want to fill this out a little more, you can add a down strum after the first bass note of every chord. So bass, down, and then do the other notes. A little faster. Congratulations, you just completed the 7-day beginner course. You now have the foundations of fingerstyle guitar. The best way to keep improving is to keep playing every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. If you like to keep learning, I have created more lessons, exercises and songs you can check out right here on the channel. And if you found this course helpful, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next step on your guitar journey. Thanks for joining me and happy playing.